Hey guys, it is Mo. It is the 10th of February, and apparently there was like a sports ball game yesterday. I don't know. Apparently there's also a Kendrick Lamar and Drake feud that, again, who knew? Anywho, I hope you guys are having a good morning. There is weather and shenanigans all around. So hopefully we'll get some of those stories covered and you are staying warm and not covered in ice or, fighting thunder snow, which apparently is a thing. Who knew also? On our first story, well, I don't know if the people of Los Angeles are going to like this new particular headline, but the Los Angeles wildfire czar got a $500,000 paycheck for 90 days of work, and it's drawing a scotch of blowback, if you will. And the mayor, I think, is going to reverse course on this, well, giant payday. Mr. Mo will probably be in and out. He is our demolition crew this week, so he is moving things so he can make a giant closet and a more functional room slash studio for me. So you'll probably get to see him in and out as I kind of have taken over his room to use the computer. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass is backtracking as of Saturday amid reports that her wildfire recovery czar, Steve Soberoff, would be compensated $500,000, yes, that makes sense, for 90 days of work. The Los Angeles Times first reported Saturday morning that Soberoff, a real estate developer and longtime civil official, would be paid $500,000 over the course of 3 months for working as the city's, quote, chief recovery officer. Yes, he is. We will figure out his, permanent location and let y'all know. His compensation was to come from charity organizations, but Bass, who first tapped Soberoff for the job on January 17th, quickly reversed course by Saturday evening. She said that Soberoff would now manage the rebuilding of the city free of charge. Quote, Steve has always been there for LA. I spoke to him today and asked him to modify his agreement and work for free, and he said yes, Bass said, according to the Times. We agree that we don't need anything distracting from the recovery work we're doing. Uh-huh. So, in other words, someone done found out about the money. Shut up, Cletus. Yeah, I'm sure he was out of the goodness of his heart like, I'll work for free. Another person, a longtime real estate executive, Randy Johnson, was to be compensated $250,000 from philanthropic organizations for assisting Sabaroff, but he too would do the job for free now, Bass said. On Johnson, Bass said that she was grateful for his generosity and expertise, but the mayor's office declined to name the charity organizations or clarify how the funding was raised, according to the Times. Now, Los Angeles City Councilwoman Monica Rodriguez, a member of a five-person committee tasked with recovery, told the Times it was infuriating that philanthropic groups would pay two people $750,000, calling the amount obscene. Yeah, we can't. Again, this is so one of the big things that's happening right now is that, Delaware is facing just CEOs and big companies who had long used Delaware as a tax haven to get out of there. Do you want to know the only people that really aren't moving out of Delaware? Charities. And do you know why charities aren't moving out of Delaware? Because by certain fiat in Delaware, charities only by law are required to make sure that 5% of every dollar goes to the actual charitable foundation or what they say they're going to do. So a lot of that can be used for, the board or fundraising or whatever. It's just the amount of money that is being wasted, that is not going where it is supposed to go. I hope it is all found, and I hope that the American people get, at least 4 boxes of Pop Tarts, and not great value, but real name brand Pop Tarts, and all our money back for our trouble. Thank you. Just absolutely insane. Quote, he's getting paid $500,000 for 3 months of work, President Donald Trump's envoy for special missions, Rick Grenell, wrote on X of Soboroff. And they call this charity. It's gross and it's offensive. Grenell, who was seated next to Trump during a roundtable discussion in the Pacific Palisades last month, added, I'm getting paid zero, as are many people. It's a good thing there will be strings on the federal money for California. Larry Vane, a Pacific Palisade resident whose home suffered smoke damage, condemned Soboroff's reported $500,000 compensation, saying no one should handle recovery efforts for financial gain. Now, Steve Dayton, who also resides in a temporary apartment in Marina del Rey after his home was destroyed in the Palisades fire, said Soboroff's compensation was a money grab, adding that the city is experiencing a crisis of leadership. Now, Soboroff, who previously served in volunteer roles on the Board of Police Commissioners and on the commission that oversees the Department of Recreation and Parks, defended the $500,000, amount to the Times earlier Saturday. Of course he did. He said that he has specialized expertise and is taking on sweeping responsibilities, including communicating with federal agencies and giving up other real estate and environmental consulting work to become the wildlife recovery czar. And thank you, Kay, for gifting one membership to the Church of Mo, and Consciously Biased was given that, so let me write those down. I will have to warn you guys that my hands and basically my entire body is somewhat on the fritz. So I am going to try to write as quickly as I can and somewhat legibly. But when I get to the part of the year where I read back tags, which I've decided I'm going to do, thank you so much. If I can't read your tag, I am incredibly sorry, but my hands and feet are having flumper day. I don't know. It's a Monday. Move this over here. It is very odd to be not in my own little space. I've forgotten how much I've tweaked everything around me to be very comfy. And thank you again so much, Kay, for the membership, and welcome to the Church of Mo, Consciously Biased. We have dark chocolate sarcasm and a deep love for Sailor Moon. We just ask that you keep your recorder and patchouli oil at home. Thank you so much. Honest to goodness, I have really good days where my hands really work, and then other days where it is a crapshoot. But let's get back to the story. Yeah, sure, you have expertise in wildfires, and you didn't, I don't know, take care of all the problems before we had this massive one. Mr. Soboroff, you ridiculous butthole. I've been doing this for 35 years for free for some of the biggest civic projects in the city of Los Angeles, but no one ever asked me to drop everything, and this time they did. Well, sir, it looks like you're on the wrong side of Father Time, so you might want to have some good things to tell St. Peter that you did before you die. So I would do it for free because I wouldn't be a butthole. I'm sure you've got money squirreled away, out the yin yang, probably in, Swiss bank accounts. I don't know what rich people do with their money. Okay, Alice G., I will confess. The reason I don't like patchouli oil so much is because there are some people, and there are very few, and I will give you that believe patchouli oil is a replacement for all of God's creation of Bath and Body Works. Look, patchouli oil may smell great in small doses, but it is not a cure for deodorant. You will smell like butt cheese, Frito chips, and patchouli oil. So please, for the love of God, if you love patchouli oil, also love soap. That's my only issue. That really is my only issue. Like, it does not cover for lack of washing in any way, shape, or form, but some people do think that it is. And I'm like, no, it just, look, please, for the love of God, wash yourself. End of rant. So Soberov said that he has taken questions from thousands of residents and made recommendations to the city for the permitting process and advised the mayor to hire an outside project manager to lead city agencies in replacing damaged infrastructure. At the end of the day, I'm doing stuff that all these other people are just studying, he said. I'm implementing to help people reach their goals of getting back in their houses and getting their jobs back. You know what, sir? You sound like a total douche canoe. One of those people who, stepped on everyone in the corporate ladder to get where he is and then wants to say that he pulled himself up by his own bootstraps. Now, I don't know you. I am just making up mental headcanon about you based on your statements and wanting to be paid to do whatever the hell you call synergizing outside the box with new, retrofitting the existing system areas. Because it sounds like you just, did a bunch of mumbo jumbo to me and telling me what the hell you're doing, but demanding pay. So I'm going to call BS and see that Elon Musk gets a hold of your finances, sir. But that's just me. Now, I have now figured out reason number 11,4312 that I am too socially awkward to get lotto tickets. But apparently, if you win, someone's going to follow your behind home. Despite her on screen appearance, I suspect that underneath Mo is a very twisted and bitter person. No, I revel in my twisted and bitterness. I am the one who wanted to start up a grudgery. Like, I have so much internalized extra Scottish rage that I'm pretty sure I can take on other people's grudges. I am like the Highlander of grudge. I will hold a grudge for years for no reason whatsoever. So I'm only attributing this to my Scottish heritage that I have semi made up because I'm still not giving 23andMe any of my DNA. Anywho, so I've just figured there had to be an innate reason that my hair just loves red so much. And then I saw Brave and I was like, I too want to become a bear and hurt all the people. No, I'm just kidding. Anywho, so let's get on to why I am terrified of playing scratch lottery tickets, even in my own neck of the woods. A husband and a wife were found dead at a rural home just hours after he was seen buying a lotto ticket. It is clearly a homicide. A British man was found dead alongside his wife at the rural France home, but he was seen on security cameras buying lottery tickets just hours before their bodies were discovered. Andrew Cyril? Look, y'all with these last names with an E that you're not supposed to pronunciate, just like I know what I'm doing over here. Age 62, was seen buying €2 lottery tickets and a bar of chocolate from a tobacco shop in the French village on Wednesday around 6 p.m., according to The Sun. Now, the next day, around 12:20 p.m., the Briton and his wife, Dawn, 56, were found dead at their home. Now, neighbors described the horrific conditions in which their bodies were discovered, according to The Telegraph. Andrew is a former financial investigator that was reportedly, oh, for the love of Cheetos. It seems like they were tortured, y'all. It seems like they were tortured for valuables, things like that. I'm not going to get into this because holy dear giblets. Now, Dawn's body was found outside the home without clothing and also looked like she had possibly been tortured to find where valuables are. And Puddletown, yes, can confirm, will be starting that up at Gitmo when I am president. All fourth grade, renditions of hot cross buns, please send your class in because I'm going to need a lot of rolls on a loop. Now, no weapons or anything were of that kind of nature as to what caused these horrific injuries were found at the scene of the property, according to police. Now, the tobacco shop owner who interacted with Andrew just hours before he was found dead, Isabella, said that the couple were regular customers, and we're going to remember them as happy people that were living their lives instead of what their final hours were. Now, he would come in every day and buy Fortuna Blue cigarettes, she said. And that day he came in just as I was closing, and he seemed perfectly happy. He was very relaxed and chatted, bought some chocolate and 2 lottery tickets. Thinking that they were to die less than 24 hours later makes me go cold. I just can't believe it. They were a lovely couple, always happy and chatting, and they spoke reasonably good French. I love that she has to add. And, for Britons, they were okay at the language of French. Best compliment she could give them. A neighbor also reported seeing Andrew appearing distressed while on a dog walk the day before the gruesome discovery. I saw them the day before they were found. They were walking the dogs and Andrew was on the phone, the unidentified neighbor said, according to the outlet. He was very agitated and he was arguing in English. He just waved at me and then carried on. A friend of the couple, Odette, said that the 62-year-old had been worried about finding his garage door opened in the days leading up to the couple's deaths. He had seen the door to his garage was open, although he was sure he had closed it, she told the outlet. So he was looking for who opened his garage, and he couldn't figure out who did it. We don't know if it's connected. Maybe it was, him who left it open, but he was sure he had closed it. Now, the police have speculated that the couple might have been killed during a break-in. However, the mayor of the city said it was clearly a homicide, and he's ruled out that they were killed during a burglary gone wrong, according to the Scotsman. Now, unless, this mayor is clearly Sherlock Holmes, it sounds like he's trying to keep the citizenry from worrying that there's a serial burglar, and I hope that the French go and learn from Jaws. And if the mayor says it's definitely not something, you start preparing for that thing. Because why is it every mayor sounds like the mayor from Jaws? Sir, we've had 8 shark attacks. Have we thought of the tourism, though? The beaches are safe, everyone. Again, if a mayor tells you not to worry, that's when you start worrying. Now, I am in the full Dale Grobel, department, so a lot of my warnings don't happen to come true. But, it is nice to be prepared with a full, retinue of Mountain Dew and Marlboros and, breeding gerbils, just in case. King of the Hill fans, that was a deep cut. I do hope, in all joking aside, that whoever inflicted these last terrifying hours on these 2 seemingly lovely people gets caught. And, oh, y'all, now, I didn't find a story and I wasn't going to say nothing, but just between you, me, and the internets, our favorite local, sovereign citizen king, well, him had some bad juju happen to him in his own little cellular area. Now, I'm not covering that here, but if you look up Mr. Darrell Brooks, you could see a story of him having a real bad time. So, bless his heart. Guess, God's mill runs relentlessly, if not slowly, but relentlessly is here now. Anywho, just thought I'd throw that in there in case anyone was wondering why I didn't cover it. Well, it's a fairly graphic story, and I wasn't sure how YouTube would enjoy, well, me somewhat reveling in that. Let's be real. So apparently I forgot. So, okay, in my defense, I thought I had cleaned out my closet, but there are tall things, and I'm a shorter person, and apparently my ability to shove things beyond my ability to see them means that I didn't actually clean out the closet. See, that's why I have to look cute, because I get away with this. Now, on to the next story, y'all. Now, I don't know who a Kendrick Lamar is, and I'm guessing Drake is that kid who got shot in Degrassi and then had to be in a wheelchair for a little bit. Is that who these people are? Because I'm all confused. But apparently, Kendrick Lamar performed Drake diss track Not Like Us at the Super Bowl 2025 halftime show with one big change. I have, I'm, I know you're shocked, but I had no idea that there was a change, not that I even watched the big sports ball game. All eyes were on him. Kendrick Lamar brought his Drake diss track, Not Like Us, to the 2025 Super Bowl halftime show, but made one big change to the song's lyrics. Taking the field at the Caesars Superdome in New Orleans on Sunday, Lamar, 37, elated fans when he performed the song that has come to define his feud with Drizzy. Dri- I look. Go with God, y'all. I have the gin blossoms, okay? So take whatever the hell you call music now. I will stay in the early 90s with myself. And, Blues Traveler, Hootie and the Blowfish, and good Alanis Morissette, and all of the other ones. And y'all can have Taylor Swift in this stuff, because I don't. Okie dokie. Now, the Pulitzer Prize, when he won a Pulitzer Prize, I weep for humanity. For the love of all that is holy. He won a Pulitzer Prize. Okay. Rapper teased the song throughout the performance, saving it for the end of his time on the field. I want to play their favorite song, but I know you're going to love, They Love to Sue. K. Dot spat at one point. Who the hell is K. Dot? Honest to God, I have never felt more like Rhett Foreman in my entire life. And what I mean by that, y'all, is I am suddenly feeling a superior feeling of peace within myself. Like I'm not often proud of myself, but I am so proud of myself for not knowing any of these people, not giving a crap who they're in a beef with, and not even having watched the Super Bowl. I'm like, hell's yes, I'm okay with myself. I don't give two rats rah-rahs what happened with these two people. Let's continue. If you needed that small dose of self-empowerment that you know none of these people and you were not bothered by the Super Bowl, this is your moment. Okay, when Lamar finally performed a portion of Not Like Us, which accuses his Canadian rival of being well, a not so nice person to children, possibly in a Cartman episode of South Park, if you catch my drift. He altered the lyrics by removing the words altogether, instead spitting certified boy lover, certified person of interest of children, grossness. Lamar went silent at the part where he would normally rap, the P word. Jane Doe, if you liked it, that is awesome. It's never been my big jam. I kind of fell out of, I never understood sports ball. So if you liked it, that is awesome. And agreed. I mean, but not every music's going to appeal to me, and if you liked it, then that's awesome and you had a good time. It just honestly, I don't know what I was doing. I think I was in and out of watching some show that played after the show I was watching had finished. Now, although Kendrick's Not Like Us performance omitted the rapper's most blunt accusation against Drizzy, K. Dot still got his message across as he served two of the song's other brutal bars. Say, Drake, I heard you like 'em young, better not ever go to cell block 1. And then he rapped, why you trollin' like a blank word, leaving the B word out before adding, aren't you tired trying to strike a chord? It's probably a minor. Giblets in heaven. This is. Welcome to Mo Reed's rap. She gets confused, you get cringe, and we all have fun together. Holy fazolies. Now, the line A minor definitely struck a chord with the crowd, who chanted along loudly. As planned, SZA joined Kendrick's performance singing their 2018 Grammy, Golden Globe, Oscar nominated hit from Black Panther's soundtrack All the Stars and Luther. Now, there was, however, one unexpected guest on the halftime show stage on Sunday, none other than Drake's ex, tennis legend Serena Williams. Now, I will say I've always been a real big fan of Serena Williams. I always thought she's been just so classy and so athletic. And doggone it, as a person who cannot walk upstairs without possibly giving themselves a forehead gash from falling, I'm just always so amazed with women who are just strongly athletic and can walk and not fall down. I'd be the world's worst Olympic judge because I would always be like, oh my God, no one fell. Okay, you're all winners to me. I'd be the most nice judge. Like, look, you sort of fell, but to be fair, I fall like doing normal things. And you obviously could get into that unitard without giving yourself a black eye, so gold star. That's just how I would be. Now, Sunday's performance was by far the most high profile live rendition of Not Like Us, with more than 80,000 in attendance at the Super Bowl and likely over 100 million watching the very public airing of the rap drama at home. Okay, you guys don't understand my ability to injure myself doing normal things. So when someone can both put on a bra and play tennis without unaliving themselves by proxy, I am just so uber impressed. You guys have no idea. You guys don't get it. So my mom, my poor sainted mom, who wanted more than anything to bond with me over athletics, put me in a gymnastics class. Now, my gymnastics class teacher was, well, she was in possession of a fully critical eye and possibly an ability to spot the truth. So I would play on the little beam, learning, just dancing, rocking out in my own world, and she would be teaching the other kids how to do cartwheels and such because, I was never going to be good at it, and she was tired of getting kicked in the jaw. And I can totally appreciate that. She didn't want to be assaulted by my, off-brand Nike, and I wasn't ever going to be a person that could do a cartwheel. Now, in the lead up to the Kansas City Chief face-off with the Philadelphia Eagles, Lamar kept mum about whether the diss track would make it into his halftime show set list. Okie dokie. I mean, I was supremely worried. At the Apple Music Super Bowl halftime show press conference on Thursday, Lamar only said that he would deliver plenty of storytelling. Now, Lamar and the TV producers tipped their hand, though, by saying Not Like Us would be, introduced as the top of the presser. The day before, TMZ reported that the Humble rapper would perform the Drake diss at halftime. The decision was particularly weighty given that Drake has sued his own record label, or UMG, which also reps Lamar for defamation and harassment because they released and promoted Not Like Us. Okay. Well, this sounds like a whole bunch of drama, and I am just now trying to detox from the whole Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni thing. I'm not getting into any more skerfuffles of popular people. No, no. Wait, does this man have a... Sir, there is a way to make a crass t-shirt, and I think I do it better, so daggone it, stay out of my zone. Now, along with the scathing lyrics throughout Not Like Us, the single's cover art also takes a jab at Drake, featuring a bird's eye view of his Toronto estate. The image has been manipulated to resemble an offender registry map. Any hoozle, apparently there is a big, fight between these two. I hope that they do a charity boxing rap and or boxing match and it'll be fine. Now, in a story that oddly and bizarrely echoes the Ken and Barbie unalivers from Canada, the, absolutely harrowing, dual unalivers who unfortunately picked a victim very close to home for one of their first dual victims. It is believed that a New Jersey woman who was thought to have died from an overdose was actually unalived by a boyfriend and her sister, according to investigators. So in that particular case, Homolka, they preyed on her sister as one of their first kind of joint victims. It was really gross, really disgusting, and they didn't. Authorities and the family didn't pick up that this was not an overdose or kind of accidental death for a while, but they finally did give the sister her dignity of being a victim. And those two are gross. I'll do a whole murder thing, just gross. Any hoozle. A New Jersey woman who died from a drug overdose in 2023 was actually unalived by her older sister with the help of the victim's boyfriend, investigators have found. Now, Cape May County prosecutors said that Emily Credas, 21, of Upper Township, and her sister, Sarah Erickson, 36, of Millville, had been embroiled in an inheritance dispute when Credas was found dead from what appeared to be a lethal overdose of, bad stuff. Now, Credas' February 16th, 2023 death was initially listed as, abuse issues led to self-deletion, but it was amended within months to undetermined. The sick murder plot came to light after Credas' boyfriend, Joseph Ragan, 22, of Philadelphia, allegedly confessed to state investigators about a month after her death. Erickson gave her sister 2 capsules that she had prepared containing crushed Xanax pills, knocking the girl out, Ragan told New Jersey State Police. He said he also watched Erickson prepare 10 to 15 bags of, powdered stuff into a single syringe. The older sister then injected the incapacitated sister. The boyfriend finally confessed. Now, Reagan admitted to holding his hand over his unconscious girlfriend's mouth as Erickson administered the fatal dose. He then allegedly told police that he cooperated because he feared Erickson. Now, Erickson and Reagan had developed a plan to kill Credas after she was hospitalized following a miscarriage, according to prosecutors. And ew. And to unalive your sister over what I am sure is not enough money to deal with that. Lord Chippy, to unalive your sister for I am guessing there is not enough money in that inheritance to pay for whatever it was your sister was going to do and all the lives she was going to touch. And you wanted some money. And she was at the lowest of a low point after she lost, a baby. And y'all wanted just, ew, human garbage. The case for a murder charge got stronger last month after a third person apparently present during Cortez's killing came forward with their own confession, along with a backpack containing at least 15 wax folds of not street legal pharmaceutical. The same not street legal pharmaceutical that was found on wax paper on her nightstand near her body. Now, Erickson had lost custody of her children, the man said, and blamed her sister. She also said that her sister was trying to take her home, the focus of their inheritance fight. Erickson also allegedly told people that she wanted to unalive her sister and noted that the lethal dose of drugs would do the trick. Now, both Erickson and Ragan are both charged as of January 23rd with murder and conspiracy to commit murder. So you're both gross, you're both trash, and look, Gen Pop justice comes for everyone. Just ask our favorite third-party intervener. Now, what in the name of Hugh Hefner is this ridiculous stuff? I mean, I am kind of proud that they just all went and, with their hoism, got their own, well, I guess, clubhouse, but ew, can you imagine having to clean that place? Just ew. Don't take a black light to this place. The Gen Z Playboy Mansion. 8 OnlyFans models move into a Miami compound to create kinky content and net nearly $15 million a month. Again, the amount of Lysol that you're going to need to clean every bit of that, it is just not worth it, you guys. The hotacity. And this is a nice neighborhood. That, all of the old rich people that have lived here forever have, worked their entire lives to keep the businesses going. And then the Hotel Hoville comes in and you're like, oh, for the love of... I mean, it's probably the same thing that Courtney Clenny's neighbors felt all the time. A kinky crew of OnlyFans creators has teamed up to rent a mansion in Miami, and they've had to hire a crew of security guards to keep the pervs off of their premises. Okay, can we just agree that this doesn't look cute on not one of these girls? And they're beautiful girls, but look, I don't know fashion, but I just know. The raunchy rental is the brainchild of Aisha Sophie and her gal pal Sophia Rain, who hit headlines late last year after claiming she was a Christian virgin. Look, I didn't pass trigonometry, but I'm pretty sure that math doesn't math. I'm going to go back and recalculate, but I don't think that works like that, sweetheart. Now, Rain and Sophie signed a lease on the $75,000 a month compound last December before fellow Gen Z OnlyFans stars Camila Arjaju, Alana Rose, Julia Fubo, Summer Iris, Ava Rains, and Joy May all moved in. Now, the content creator compound is known as the Bop House and even has its own TikTok and Instagram accounts that have collectively clocked up 3 million followers in just 2 months. Ew. We're never, apart from each other for more than a few hours in a day, Rain told Press Jam of the steamy situation. Ew. The opulent 3-story residence spans across 8,890 square feet within 6 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms. There's also a pool, rooftop sun deck, and direct access to the water with a space to park a jet or a yacht. Ew. Just all the ew. Can you imagine? Oh my God, when their cycles sink and it's Shark Week. for your safety, everyone in the near vicinity just bring in Haagen-Dazs and Ben and Jerry's and GTFO. Just someone have Uber Eats there with the chocolate and pray for y'all. Ugh. So there you go. If you would like to see the, house that Hose built, there we are. Also, just again, girls, none of my girls, not going to say nothing. This is what you want to put on the internet? That is y'all. Not my daughters, not my problem. I am not doing that. Never accept a free cruise. I think we have all won that, we have all learned that nothing free ever ends up really great. A Minnesota man won a free Norwegian cruise vacation, but then caught the flu on board and got hit with $47,000 in medical bills. This is why I will stay in my house and be okay. A Minnesota man won a free week-long cruise vacation to the Caribbean for him and his girlfriend, only to catch the flu on board and get slapped with an eye-popping $47,000 medical bill. Mike Cameron and his girlfriend, Tamara Masterman, won a free Norwegian cruise trip from the Grand Casino Hinkley that set sail out of Miami on January 5th, he told the Post Thursday night. But what started as a dream trip to the tropical destination quickly went awry when Cameron of Barham came down with the flu. The ailing passenger sought treatment at the medical center aboard the Norwegian Encore ship and recovered 3 days later. As the couple's tour of the Caribbean came to the end, Cameron was shocked to learn that he was stuck with a nearly $50,000 medical bill. I was just flabbergasted by the whole thing. I guess I'm just used to the medical system in the United States. I can't believe it happened, he said. The bill came as a shock as cruise members assured him not to worry as he received treatment. One lady in the medical ward said that he had the traveler's insurance and that meant that they had $20,000 of coverage. The cruise line maxed out 2 credit cards Cameron had on file and he still owes $21,000, he added. The couple had purchased travel insurance from the cruise line that covered expenses up to $20,000 and health insurance, but Cameron was stuck in a holding pattern with each claiming the other is responsible for the bill. And welcome, Shizzy Raiders. The traveler's insurance doesn't want to pay it until we run it with our own health insurance, and the health insurance doesn't want to pay it because it's abroad, Masterman explained. Stuck in limbo, Cameron isn't sure how he'll afford the steep bill. I don't know if I'm ever going to pay them off, but I'm going to have to, but I don't know how, he told Fox News 9. The couple said the bill accompanied a letter from Norwegian stating that the price was closely comparable to other cruise lines and that it was fair and reasonable. Now, Cameron has one piece of advice for travelers after his ordeal. We want people to be aware if you go on a cruise, make sure you've got good traveler's insurance, he warned. Once you're out in international waters is a whole different story. A spokesperson for Norwegian said the company was unable to share details of the Cameron's care due to patient privacy laws, but stressed that its international team reviewed his necessary medical procedures and resulting expenses. So there you go. Make sure you have good insurance or don't get sick. And Dingus has partially forgiven me, just a little bit, but not as much. He doesn't like that everything is out of the way, that he's not allowed to go into the demolition room. For some reason, all the cats are just amazed that the carpet is gone and want to be all in there. And it's like, we need to keep the space safe. And they don't get that. So they're all kind of mad at us. We are all confused. Forget 50 first dates. I went on 50,000 with my husband and didn't remember my own child. For one woman, her everyday is like real life 50 first dates. Nesh Pillay, 34, suffered a traumatic brain injury that resulted in amnesia, and she forgot she had a daughter or a boyfriend, at all. Her story, which has been likened to the plots of the films like The Vow and 51st Dates, is now the subject of a docuseries titled 50,000 First Dates, A True Story, which premiered on Amazon Prime Video on February 11th. She's a beautiful lady. I would kill to have beautiful, shiny hair like that that's that long. It's one thing to live through these experiences, but seeing them turned into something tangible, a story being told on a larger scale, it's completely surreal, she told Jam Press, adding that she's blown away that she's come this far. But more than anything, it's an important part to raise awareness. Since sharing her journey on social media, she said that people have told her that they feel seen because they've experienced similar life events, and that's incredibly humbling, she said. It's the kind of story I wish I'd had when I was younger, and knowing now I'll be the voice for someone else is an honor that I don't take lightly. In 2022, Pillay, who is based in Toronto, woke up from a nap confused and experiencing memory loss, not able to recognize her partner, 32-year-old Johannes Jacob, or remember her young daughter. She mistook Jacob a couple times for a rideshare driver and had completely forgotten about her child, who she kept referring to as the child. I called my daughter the child, which I imagined was a jarring experience for her, Pillay recalled. I would say, I have a child. I don't know how to take care of a child. Now, Pillay had experienced head injuries in the past and believes a more recent head trauma likely triggered the amnesia, although she has no memory of it. A trip to the neurologist confirmed that she had a concussion and could have experienced multiple seizures that resulted in memory loss. I only retain about 20% of new memories. If you asked me what I did 2 days ago, I probably would just stare at you and hope for a hint, she said. But she is gradually healing with Jacob by her side this entire time. My health changes day to day. It's so hard to answer when people ask how I'm doing, she explains. Some days I feel almost normal, and other days I can't get out of bed. I'm so out of it I can't follow a conversation. I feel this in my soul, you guys. I really, really do. I get that. Still, she fell in love with Jacob all over again as he helped care for her, even learning how to braid her hair. No matter what, I always knew he was a safe space. He was still the person I would choose to go with doctor's appointments to or help me shower, so naturally, even in my brain state, I wanted to marry him. Jacob eventually proposed, although at first she could not legally consent due to her condition, and the pair welcomed a son March of 2024. So many people have referred to our stories as 50 First Dates or The Vow, and I see similarities. After all, I did fall in love with him for a second time, and I will likely do so for the rest of my life, she explained. Pillay, who has suffered side effects such as headaches and tremors, is still searching for treatments to make life easier. Again, do I feel this in my soul? Yes, I do. The docuseries follows Pillay's meeting with a neuroscientist at the University of Toronto who sheds light on her condition, which he said was exciting but also terrifying. I've taken those results to multiple neuroscientists to try to piece together a treatment plan, she explained. Unfortunately, there's still just so much we don't know about the human brain, so right now it feels a lot like throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping something sticks. She said it took a lot for her to open up on film, but she's really glad that she did. For a long time, I carried a lot of shame because my diagnosis was so unclear, and I knew that some doctors didn't fully believe me, she explained, adding that she's now realizing just how common this experience is. I also hope the documentary shows that real life isn't a movie. It's messy, uncertain, and it's imperfect, and that's okay. And absolutely, and I'm going to get a little real with you guys this morning, since I'm just about to wrap up the show so we can go to Megan Boswell. But you guys are always so gracious and so full of grace for me with, my limitations when it comes to CRPS. I wanted so badly to be able to do a full catch-up day yesterday. And yesterday was one of those just could not even cope with sitting up kind of days. that, you know, happen when you have, kind of a ridiculous condition that no one knows much about. But I was sitting here this morning and I was doing musings with Mo, and I just realized I was kind of having a sad moment where I was grieving something beyond ridiculous. Sitting in a chair doing nothing. That would probably, you think, be the simplest thing. But I have to have, like my cool pillow and then my other pillow and then my, this and my thing right here and the heater focused on my foot and, oh no, I was grieving the fact that I never appreciated just sitting on a couch and just sitting there and not having to think of, okay, that's going to be a lot of sensation on my leg. Okay, try to just be in the moment and don't tense up if youngest most feral comes on your left side. And it's okay to grieve those things, guys. It's okay to struggle with it. I've learned to quantify how good I'm doing at being completely at peace. And on good days, I'm 63% there. The problem is, as people who deal with chronic pain know, or any situation in your life, you have those days where you go back to being 0% okay with anything, and that is okay. If the majority of the days you are 63% there, I say that's great. And don't beat yourself up for the days where you backslide into 0% fair, because it's okay. It's okay to be pissed off that you have to think of 150 different things before you even sit on the couch and, sit with your family. So here's my pledge. Here's my wish out to the universe. Dear Mr. President, dear Elon Musk, since you guys are, taking care of government waste, please, for the love of God, we're not fakers. We aren't, asking for a handout. We're not asking for anything other than please dedicate some research to chronic pain. We're not fakers. We're not drug seekers. We just want to be able to hug our family and have, the same luxury of being able to sit on our ass and watch South Park without having to think, I need my good pillow and I'll be able to tolerate this for about 5 minutes and then I'll have to go to my room. And God, I hope I don't let my kids see me crying because they're just being loud. And that's totally normal for little kids, but it hurts me. So please don't let my kids see that so this doesn't affect their, entire personalities. So, Mr. President, while you're, taking money away, if you could take all of that money and put in research to, make those of us with chronic pain, give us some relief. Let us be productive. There is no greater shame than not being able to be productive when you really want to be, and we want to be. Do some research. Let's look at alternatives. Let us not be, something. We just want to be able to hug our families. I never thought that I would miss being able to hug my family. I mean, Mr. Mo kind of cringes now when he hugs me because he knows it hurts, and I don't want it to. I want to get a hug and not have it hurt. I want to be able to interact with my family without being on 1,010 pounds of drugs and then get looked at funny when I have to take them because this is what makes me functional and this is all you can give me. So from the bottom of my heart, let's, reach out to people, make a chronic pain, Doge thing. Because there are so many people that are putting on, brave faces every day. And I have had the just brilliant opportunity to listen and absorb these stories and know that we're not alone. But if more than 1 million people in America are dealing with chronic pain and it affects their lives every day, then gosh darn it, Mr. President, please listen to us. and let's do something together. Let's remind the doctors that we're not just numbers, that we're not just here drug seeking. Think about the last time you hugged your children or, took a shower or put on pants. Yes, that's how chronic pain affects some of us. You know, our day is surrounded by making sure that we avoid as many triggers as we possibly can so that we can be functional and looked at as humans and people. Let's bring humanity back into healthcare, Mr. President. And that's my message for today. Because you know what? I don't always share with you guys because I will be very real. There have been, and I have been blessed before I even started creating to have streams that helped me on such bad days where I was just like, okay, I can breathe. And there were creators who, out of, their innate talent or whatever motivated them to put themselves out there to create, got me through these terribly, incredibly rough days. And the fact that I've had people reach out privately to me to say that I've done that on occasions has been the greatest thing that I have ever done. So I don't like to, always tell you guys my bad days. I will tell you that this last week, again, with all the moves and the different changes, I knew I was in for maybe not so great a week. And you can always kind of mental it here, but then when you're walking through it, you're like, why did I give up my, comfy room, even though it wasn't functional? And, all of these things. So I guess I just wanted to be real with you guys because it's not easy to always ignore the pain, to, put on a brave face. If you know someone in your life who is struggling, maybe not with chronic pain, maybe with grief, maybe with something else, just let them know that they don't have to be brave. It's such a burden to try to be the brave face of something, and sometimes it is absolutely freeing. So I give you all permission today, and I'm going to take permission myself, that while we continue to do, whatever it is, we don't have to be the brave face today. If we need to take a break, if we want to say, say it is, just a rough day, it is okay. Because you really sometimes just need to hear someone give you permission. So I give you permission. Now, Mama Mo says, do not be a dick. Just because we're having a bad day, we need to be extra super mindful that our words and our behaviors do not come from a place of buttholeness. So, if I have to mind myself of that, you remind yourself of that. So it's okay not to be okay, but it is not okay to take garbage from you and put it on someone else. So on that note, I am going to let y'all go. I will be doing a Petty Express long run of day 2 and beyond of Megan Boswell versus the state of Tennessee. So you guys can join me over there. I'm going to do it for as long as I can. And you know what? The Petty Express is never late. The Petty Express runs when it runs. So we may be a little behind on the case, but we will be okay with that because the Petty Express only runs when it runs. Love you guys so much. Thank you all for such the grace. And really, I do encourage you, reach out if you know that there's someone out there that's maybe being a bit brave, and give them the, space and the permission to be real and not be okay, because that's all right too. We're going to make it. Bye, guys.